The entertainment world has been shaken once again, and this time, it's not just another celebrity headline. Dylan Wang, the star whose name has long been intertwined with Shen Yu's in one of the most talked about on-screen and off-screen connections in recent memory, has finally spoken. What he confessed about his bride-stunned fans left the media scrambling, and most painfully, left Shen Yu completely heartbroken. Before we dive into the full emotional story behind this revelation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the truth behind this confession is something you won't want to miss. It all began with what was supposed to be a moment of pure joy. Dylan Wang, the beloved actor adored for his charm, his raw talent, and that unmistakable chemistry with Shen Yu since Meteor Garden, was preparing for one of the biggest days of his life, his wedding. The news of his engagement had already made waves across social media weeks earlier, sending mixed reactions through the fandom. While many celebrated the actor's new chapter, others couldn't help but feel a deep pang of nostalgia, wondering if Shen Yu, his former co-star and rumored first love, would ever cross his mind again. For years, the two were inseparable in the eyes of fans. Their chemistry on-screen was so natural, so electric, that people believed there had to be something real behind it. From their first moments together on set, the teasing smiles, the lingering looks, the quiet moments between takes, it was clear they shared something special. Even after the camera stopped rolling, their interviews together radiated warmth and comfort. But somewhere along the way, as fame grew and careers took separate paths, that closeness faded into silence. When Dylan's wedding date was announced, fans began to wonder how Shen Yu was taking it. Was she happy for him? Was she hurting in silence? Or had she long moved on from the past? No one knew for sure. Shen Yu, always graceful and private, remained quiet, choosing not to make any public statement. But everything changed on the wedding day itself, when Dylan Wang, standing before his bride, made a confession that would change how the world saw him forever. The wedding was grand, filled with celebrities, directors, and close friends. Cameras flashed endlessly, fans waited outside the venue, and the world seemed to celebrate a new beginning for one of China's most beloved stars. But deep within the beauty of that moment, something was heavy in the air. Witnesses later described Dylan's demeanor as distant, distracted, like a man struggling with something unsaid. When the moment came for Dylan to give his vows, silence fell. Everyone expected the usual, heartfelt promises of love, laughter, and devotion. But instead, what came out of Dylan's mouth left the audience stunned. His voice trembled slightly, his eyes glistening with unspoken emotion. "I want to start this new chapter of my life with complete honesty," he began. "There was someone who taught me what love truly means. Someone who believed in me before the world did. I hurt her, and I never said the words I should have said back then." Whispers spread instantly across the hall. His bride stood beside him, visibly taken aback, unsure of what he was about to reveal. "Before I can give my heart fully today," Dylan continued, "I need to acknowledge that once, I gave it away to someone I could never forget, Shen Yu." The audience gasped. It was as if the air itself froze. His words echoed through the hall like a confession years in the making, one that broke the boundary between the public and the deeply personal. Fans who managed to catch glimpses of the live stream couldn't believe their ears. The same Dylan Wang who had avoided every romantic rumor with Shen Yu for years was now openly confessing it in front of his bride, his guests, and the entire world. According to reports from attendees, his bride's expression turned from confusion to quiet heartbreak. Yet, Dylan pressed on, his voice soft but heavy with truth. "I was young, scared, and I made choices that hurt both of us. She believed in me when no one else did, and I let her down. I'll always carry that part of my past with me, not as regret, but as a reminder of what love really means." Tears rolled down faces in the crowd. It was raw, unexpected, and painfully honest. Some said it was brave, others called it cruel. But one thing was clear, Dylan Wang had finally spoken the words fans had been waiting to hear for years. The problem was, it was too late. As news of his confession broke, social media went into meltdown. Within minutes, Dylan Wang and Shen Yu began trending worldwide. Clips from the wedding circulated everywhere, accompanied by stunned reactions and emotional comments. "He finally said it," one fan wrote. "But why now? Why in front of his bride?" Others sympathized with Shen, calling it the most heartbreaking moment of the year, to be publicly remembered not as a rumor, but as the love he confessed just when he was promising his future to someone else. What made the moment even more emotional was that Shen reportedly watched the ceremony online. Sources close to her said she had received an invitation but had politely declined, wishing him happiness instead. No one expected that she would be mentioned in such a public, vulnerable way. Meanwhile, Dylan's new marriage faced scrutiny from the public. Some criticized him for bringing up his past love during his vows, calling it disrespectful. Others defended him, saying that honesty, no matter how painful, was better than silence. Whatever the opinion, one thing was certain: the confession had changed everything. Behind the scenes, close friends of Dylan revealed that his words were not impulsive. He had been carrying the guilt for years, and before getting married, he wanted to enter the new chapter of his life with a clean heart. He didn't mean to hurt anyone, a friend explained. He just couldn't hide it anymore. He needed to say her name, to acknowledge what she meant to him before he could move forward. But as noble as that may have seemed, the emotional fallout was undeniable. For Shen, it reopened old wounds she thought had long healed. For his bride, it created uncertainty in what should have been the happiest moment of her life. And for Dylan himself, it became a haunting reminder that love, even when left unspoken, never truly disappears. Weeks later, a photo surfaced online showing Dylan alone at an airport, wearing sunglasses and a cap, looking somber. The caption read simply, "Sometimes love stories don't end. They just change form." It struck fans deeply. Was he running from the attention, or from the emotions his confession had stirred within himself? In a world where celebrity romances are often carefully managed and polished, Dylan Wang's confession felt raw, messy, and real. It reminded everyone that behind the fame and perfection, these stars are still human, capable of love, regret, and heartbreak. His honesty, while painful, revealed the side of him fans had never seen: vulnerable, flawed, and deeply emotional. Today, as time slowly heals the wounds left by that unforgettable moment, the world still remembers the love story that started it all, the chemistry that sparked between Dylan and Shen, and the emotions that never truly faded. For many fans, no matter who they marry or where life takes them, the connection they once shared remains legendary. Maybe Dylan's confession wasn't about rekindling the past. Maybe it was his way of saying goodbye to the girl who taught him love, to the years that shaped him, and to the part of his heart that would always belong to her. And for Shen, though heartbroken, perhaps this was the closure she never got, the final piece of a story that once felt unfinished. Because sometimes, love isn't meant to last forever. Sometimes, it's meant to teach us what forever truly means. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: that wedding day will forever be remembered, not just as the day Dylan Wang confessed his bride, but as the day he finally confessed his heart.